If you're burnt out or you're getting really close to it, you've got to address your physical health, your mental and emotional health, and you've got to take back your social life ASAP before your life implodes. Now, this is talking from experience, not trying to scare you, but I've seen it so many times within my own life and with people around me. Now, if you want to optimize your life without getting burnt out, grab your free life map below. 6 months after starting my new personal training business, I got slammed with a mystery illness. It left me exhausted, in pain, barely able to work. I didn't know what was going on. I just could barely get out of bed for 2 weeks. Fast forward, and I'm almost 16 years into this illness now. I've spent $260,000 plus or minus trying to buy my health back, and I've missed out on somewhere between $1 to $3 million in lost earnings or assets from business and investments. I had to sell my house, I had to sell my car, sold all of my stuff, had to give up my dream of owning a gym, sell all the equipment that I had that was ready to just pick up and put into the place. I had to let it all go. I hit that burnout point, and I don't want that to happen for you. So there are 3 main areas to focus on. Let's start with number 1. The first one is obviously going to be your physical health. It needs to be your priority no matter who you are or what you're doing. If you don't put your physical health first, you will eventually lose it. It's very common in especially Western society for people to hit burnout because we're so pushed to do the hustle, the grind. If you want to be successful, you've got to work 7,000 hours a week. Well, that just doesn't work. If you're nearing burnout, you've been doing that. How's that working out for you? You're sitting here watching this video on how to beat burnout. What you're doing isn't working. So how can you dial things back and do it smarter, not harder? How can you get your physical health to a better place? Well, first of all, let's break it down to the 2 main ones. Your diet is first and foremost. Are you fueling your body in the right way? Are you giving yourself healthy food to put the healthy building blocks in your body so that you get more energy and that your body performs at the best way possible? The other side of that is the movement side of things. Are you doing the exercise that you need to do? Or has exercise become a thing of the past because you're just so busy? Maybe you've even burnt yourself out with exercise, because that happens too. I know a regular Saturday for me was 5 hours of training between surfing, lifting weights, and I might go for a mountain bike or play some basketball or something in the afternoon, and that was just normal. Even yesterday, Sundays are a big day for me where I'll do. Could be a couple of hours of beach volleyball and a couple of hours of dancing in a day. Now, the only way I can make that work for me is by not doing very much on Monday. How are you making it work in your life? Do you need to scale back the fitness activities that you're doing? Do you need to drop the intensity of your training sessions by 25% and not push yourself so much? Maybe you need to just go through the motions for a while. Maybe you need to take yourself away from the high intensity training and just go back to doing more basic things. More walking, more stretching, yoga, tai chi, qigong, things that will restore your energy rather than hardcore workouts that will take your energy away. Stuff like CrossFit workouts, high rocks, endurance training. Those things that are taking a huge amount of time or at a high intensity, they're draining your batteries and they are leading you further into burnout. Now let's go a little bit further on the physical side of things. If you're working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and yes, I've been there, so I know what it's like, you got to find some way to be able to pull that back because it is going to get you. At worst, you need to get down to working a 40-hour week. Maybe you need to go on holiday for a month or two. Maybe these things are going to sound completely impossible, but the crazy part is if you hit burnout and you crash, you get sick, instead of being able to work 80 hours or even 40 hours, you get to work 0 hours because you might end up on your ass in hospital or stuck in bed unable to get out. You might end up with cancer, heart attack, stroke. You might give yourself some sort of autoimmune or other mystery illness. These things are so common these days. They're more common than they're uncommon. Most people I know have something going on that is severe. They hide it really well, but it's still going on in their life and holding them back. You have to make the choice to do something now before life happens to you, and it will. You do not take this choice, and burnout is certain to become a part of your life. I know it can be very difficult to be able to figure out how to transition from where you are to where you want to be, but that's what I'm here for, and that's what we do within the Life Map program. Move on to number 2, your mental and emotional health. If you do not have quality control over your mental health and your emotional health, it is going to be far more difficult for you to be able to detach from working so much or from doing things at a high capacity. We get addicted to the behaviors that we have. Those behaviors, they lead to certain feelings. Feeling of exhausted, frustrated, angry, depressed. You have to choose to change your behavior. If you can choose to change your behavior, you're going to feel a different way. You're going to get a different result. Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. What you're doing right now, yeah, it's probably insane. If you're working 80 hours a week, that's insane. It's not sustainable. So, can you get yourself to a point where you can be okay with dialing things back a little bit? Now, I know how difficult this is. Again, I've been through it. I'm a type A personality. I like to do things. I'm not great at just sitting around and being. I'm not great at just hanging out and watching things. I feel like I need to keep moving and keep doing things. But I've practiced the slowing down side of things. I've practiced relaxing. I now make this a part of my day, my week, in multiple different places. Even when I went dancing last night, I prioritized sitting down and just relaxing and watching and enjoying the space. At volleyball yesterday, I sat down and I prioritized resting and hanging out with my friends and not doing anything over being out there and playing and pushing and really getting stuck into it. Because I know that if I do those things, my week is going to be better. Many weekends I burnt myself out in the past by doing too much, having too much fun, trying to fit too much in. By the time it gets to the week, I'm in a depleted state where I just don't feel like doing things. I don't have the energy. If I don't have the energy, I can't do what I want to do. I can't do as much, and I certainly can't do it at a high quality as I want to. I don't like feeling like that. So I know that if I don't want to feel like that, I have to act in a different way. Same thing goes for you. You have to choose to practice that different action. You have to say no to other people, to invitations, to different things that come your way. So you can say yes to yourself, yes to recovery, yes to rest. Yes to, I want my week to work the way that I want it to work. So I need to make sure that I save enough energy to be able to do that so I'm not destroying myself. It takes a lot of work up here to build these skills. But again, that's what we work on in the Life Map program, is building skills and resilience so you can beat that burnout place. Number 3, and this is very important, is Have a social life. Don't have too much of a social life, but don't have too little of a social life either. See, if you're in business, it's very easy to work, pushing your business, trying to grow it. You get single-minded, focusing on just that one thing. Can be the same with a job. Maybe you're on a commission-based job, or maybe it's just something that you really love, you're really enjoying, you're really into it, so you're putting so much time and energy into it. In fact, you could be putting so much of your physical energy and your mental and emotional energy into this job that there's just not a lot left at the end of the day. There's not a lot left at the end of the day, and by the time you get to the weekend, you're so tired, all you want to do is rest. You've got to somehow make enough time that you have some sort of a social thing to do during the week and on the weekend. You have to prioritize that. The reason you prioritize that is it gives you something to look forward to. If you don't have something to look forward to, your life becomes Groundhog Day and you get bored and stuck in this rut where you're just doing the same thing over and over again. And then you're stuck, physically feeling not great. You're stuck in this mental state of, why am I doing this? Why do I feel like this? I don't understand this. Your emotions are exhaustion and frustration and anger and depression, and everything just feeds back into itself. I absolutely love looking forward to volleyball and my beach dancing on a Sunday. I love it. I guard that time. I'll guard my Saturday. I don't want to overdo things on Saturday, so I've got enough energy to do those things on Sunday. I don't want to overdo things on Monday, so I know that I'm going to be good for my Sunday. It's that important to me that I'm going to protect that time with everything I've got. Now, there are things that I have during the week as well that I look forward to, that I prioritize, that I make sure that I'm setting enough time aside during my day so I don't do too much so I can still go and do that thing. Because if I go and do that thing, I feel good for the rest of the week. I get to see my friends. I get to have a good time. I'm grateful for the time that I do get to spend in that place with those people, learning new things, having new experiences, laughing, having a good time, feeling like me. It's so easy to get lost in a business or lost in a job or lost in the family because you're doing everything for everybody else, but you forget about doing the things that you need for you. Take that time back for you so you can feel like you, so you have something to look forward to. You can't look after everybody else unless you look after yourself. You cannot put everything ahead of your physical health because otherwise you'll lose it. And if you lose it, you'll spend every last cent you can to try and get it back. I know I've done it. I'm still paying the price. But I'm this close to getting it back. So I live my life in a very different way. I live my life on purpose, doing the things that I know that I need to do to look after me as number one priority, because that allows me to live the life that I really want to live on the other side of that. So if you've been single focused and nearing burnout, you've got to make these changes before it gets you. Because burnout is coming. It's just sitting there watching and waiting. Don't focus only on the money, or you'll spend every cent you have to trying to get your energy and your life back. Don't focus just on looking after everybody else, because if you look after everybody else and neglect yourself, you're not going to have the capacity to look after them or yourself. Now, if this sort of thing is difficult and you find it really hard to be able to find that balance, join my free Life Map program below, and for 28 days I will coach you and get you started building discipline, building habits, building the resilience in yourself to prevent that burnout, to get your life back the way that you want to. Click the link below. I'll see you on the inside.